We're here.
Yeah,
I did weird eyes.
I
Uh,
saw that.
so I'm gonna welcome guys to the Jason J. Daniels show. We're on. I got Desiree. I forgot to darn it, I forgot to put a title for your TikTok. I'll have to type it in. Um, so I have Twitch set up, and that's gonna be the next thing. So when we stream, we're gonna stream to YouTube, X, Rumble, and Twitch. That'll be cool. Now, do you Twitch? Do you stream your gaming on Twitch?
I do, but I haven't been because it's just like nobody watches it because Twitch is so competitive in that area.
Got it.
So
Okay.
nobody watches mine for that reason.
Well, because I was
But
thinking, because we could
if I could,
collaborate at times, right, on Twitch too.
I see. I don't know how to do that. I've heard you can do that, but I don't know how to do that.
Yeah, I was reading it last night. I don't know either, but I'm totally brand new to Twitch, so that's gonna go well. But hey, guys, we're talking football, man. I mean, what a crazy, crazy, crazy year! I have never seen people just get up and leave while I'm talking. I've never I had Desiree. Oh, there she is. Wow. You know what? It's just like the Chiefs ethics. They look at you
Oh my
and then they
god.
disappear. They come back. I've never seen. I've lived a little, and I've never saw, never seen. I've never experienced a year like this in the NFL. Last year was close, but not even like this. Usually, the cheating happens at the end of the year in the postseason. Now it's just happening the entire year. Look the triggering. Anyway, guys, hey, I've got Desiree with me. We're going to talk NFL. It's been a while. It's been like a week or so since I've talked NFL for you and me, like maybe 2 weeks. And so I got to say, welcome to the Jason J. Daniels show. We're really excited because we have a Super Bowl now. It's lined up, guys. Also, we are live on, like I said, we're live on YouTube and Rumble and X. So jump in the chat if you want. We have got a Super Bowl. The Super Bowl is going to be if you haven't heard, Kansas City Chiefs and the Philadelphia Eagles. Okay. So I have got Desiree with me. She's a mega fan, good friend of mine. Um, I am Coach Goat on TikTok, and we met on TikTok. Desiree, what's your TikTok handle?
That's a good question.
You don't even know it.
No, I do not.
Most
I
isn't that great?
should.
Most TikTokers don't even know their handle. Hold on here. I'm jumping to X here so I can. Okay, hold on here.
You'd actually have to pull up my TikTok and go to my page to
I've
look
got
at it because I don't know.
Okay, yeah, I'll pull it up right now. I'm just making let's test I like to test the audio just to make sure there's no issues. Let's see
Because
here.
if I minimize this, will it? Am I still here?
Perfect. Yeah, if you minimize it, you're still there. You won't like hang up. But you might freeze. You're freezing a little bit, but it's fine. Did you leave?
Okay. No, I'm like I split screen my phone. I found it.
Okay, you got it? So what
Yeah.
is it?
It's at Desiree _ Taylor's version.
Okay, Taylor's version. So if somebody wants to follow you, and I'll try to add it as well when I post it. The last show you did was really good with me. I didn't get a chance to chop it up, but I will be doing that in the future.
Okay, that's fine.
In a smaller segment. So okay, so so guys, welcome to the show. You can follow me, you can follow Desiree. If you're watching this, you may just be bumping into us and you don't follow us, so you should follow us everywhere. Okay, so the Super Bowl is set. It is set. Okay, so no one is surprised. Are you surprised the Chiefs are in the Super Bowl?
No, not even a little.
No, because the Tay Voodoo. You're not surprised.
I knew we were going. It's fine.
You did. Okay. So let's just get into it. I know that you won't listen to a word I have to say about the cheating. You will turn your mind off when it comes to the truth, but that's fine. I'm an open-minded guy. I'm open-minded, and I'm going to just listen to you tell me everything about the game last night, and you tell me why the Bills cost themselves the game, because that's what you're going to tell me, right? You're going to say it's the Bills' fault that the NFL dresses up like referees? Go ahead.
Okay, first of all, I want to clarify that there
Please
have been
do.
instances where I have admitted, okay, yeah, that was a fix to help the Chiefs.
Okay.
I've admitted to those instances. I've watched it happen in the games. It's been very obvious at times. That was not the case last night.
Okay. It wasn't the case last night.
No, I watched that entire game minus like maybe 2 or 3 minutes in the third quarter. That was all I missed.
Okay.
And we can start at the top of the game.
Go ahead.
The first drive.
It's
we
all
can
you.
start there. Okay. Alex, oh my gosh. He threw 2 passes that were almost intercepted.
Who's he?
Like, Josh Allen started the game. It was the first thing he did. 2 almost interceptions right there. Probably not a good way to start the game.
Okay. But they weren't interceptions. They were just incomplete passes, right?
They were almost interceptions. Did you see those replays? They were he almost cost them the ball at the start of the game. And then they were incomplete, so it didn't matter. They didn't get anywhere with those anyway.
I have to agree with you. The Chiefs came out strong and scored that, and it was a 12-yard ground TD, and I was like, that's impressive. Kareem Hunt. I was impressed.
Yeah. He did really well last night.
That's Chiefs football. They went out and scored. Now, I thought it was interesting. It was Mahomes scoring first. That stood out to me. Cool. But the Chiefs needed to get on the board. Okay, go ahead.
So then I know there was a lot of flags. I'm not saying there wasn't. But did you watch the replays for those flags? Did you actually watch? Did anybody? Because I keep hearing this. That, those flags were unnecessary. That wasn't a face mask. They weren't holding, and I'm like, are we watching the same game? Because that's his whole hand has a hold of the front of that helmet. His arm he's completely no. Those were justified.
Like the Chiefs hold you? Is that you're not talking about that?
I know, I'm talking about the Bills. Those were justified flags against them. They were all justified. And I want to point out that the Chiefs were in fact flagged for the same thing on a couple of occasions. Were they flagged as often? No. Do you know why? Because the Bills kept doing it and the Chiefs didn't. And I also want to point out that at one point, because if you were listening to the announcers,
I try not to.
I was trying not to too, but I did catch on
to
this.
Terrible.
That at one point, one of the plays, I don't even remember, it was second or third quarter when it happened. Yeah. They were like, that should have been a holding call against the Bills, but I guess they're just going to let it go. And the flag was not thrown, and it was not called, and it was very obviously a holding, and they got away with it. So both teams were getting flagged, and both teams were getting away with doing certain things. So I don't feel like there was any favoritism in that game. And I want to remind you that I told you it would be a close game, and it was a 3-point difference, and I told you that's what would happen.
You told me that. Okay, I remember you. Yeah, okay.
And I have more examples, but I'm going to let you get a word in now.
Hey, okay, well, okay, I hear you. Did you see that catch that wasn't a catch and the ball hit the ground? Did you see that?
Are you talking about the pass to Worthy?
Of course. Now let me ask you a question.
He had the ball.
Okay, so I'm just saying, you know your football, so don't take this wrong. But do you understand the rule on a completed catch? Just asking.
I think so.
Okay. I'm sure you do.
I'm second guessing.
Not a trick question.
Now, but like,
okay.
Now I'm like second guessing. I'm pretty
sure. No, it's okay. Okay. So here's how completed catch works. Now, I could show you the video and we could break it down, but I don't think that's necessary because everybody watching this has seen it a bunch of times and they're probably totally disagreeing with you. So that's okay. But here's where we're at. Let's pretend this is the ball.
Okay.
There's something called possession, and then there's the ball just can't touch the ground. Possession is not just holding the ball, but it's also making a football move to demonstrate you have possession. So I could be juggling the ball and fall down and it pop out of my hand. That's not possession, clearly. Okay. If I grab the ball and tuck it, that's a football move. That's possession. So in that situation, They're coming down and he has a defender on top of him. And that defender, that's called the 50-50 ball. When you got a defender in there, when you're in the air, you can't have possession when somebody has their hand in there, right? Okay. So he never had possession. Never. One. Then going down to the ground, he still had a defender, had his arm in there, and the tip of the ball hit the turf. Now, do you recall seeing that ball hit the turf, you as a viewer?
To me, it didn't look like it hit the ground. It didn't look like it hit the ground first. It looked like his arm went down before the ball hit. Like
Okay.
he had it. It looked like, because I watched that replay like 4 or 5 times,
Sure.
a couple times
Everybody
last
has.
night and today. And from my perspective,
Okay.
it looks like, and I see him struggling for possession with the ball. I see that happening.
Yeah.
But by the time he's down, it looks to me like he has that ball fairly securely. I was afraid he was going to drop it, but he didn't.
Okay.
I had the fear, but it looked to me like he had it, and his arm was down before the ball touched the turf. If it
Okay.
touched the turf, I can't quite tell that it did. To me, it doesn't look like it. I mean, it looks like it's like this far off. I will not lie.
Okay.
It looks very close, but to me, it really doesn't look like it looked
Okay.
like he had it to me. I
Okay.
said all of that just to say it looks like that to me, that he had it. I don't know why I rambled that way.
No, I tracked with you 100%.
I don't know that everybody else will, but
No, you explained it well. You actually did. Here's why this is I'm just going to explain why it's controversial. One, we're still talking about it right now. If something pivotal happens in a game and everybody's talking about it and everybody has an opinion, that is a controversial call. Okay, one. Two, if we are debating, did it touch the ground? That is an incomplete pass. Here's how that works. You have to have disputable evidence that it didn't touch the ground, but no one could dispute either side, right? You have your opinion, I'm right. So when it comes to a call that huge, possessions being juggled, a guy's over your shoulder, the ball. Now, when I saw it, it clearly hits the ground from the angle I saw. It's incomplete. That's me, right? I see it and go, all these click, 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 incomplete. So my point is, when they replayed it, when you're looking at it as an official and you understand this is so pivotal, you don't give them that catch. You don't, unless you want the Chiefs to win. See? Because if you and I were in the booth and we were understanding the fairness, let's say, because what happens is, now, are you aware that there is folks in a room in New York City that do all the replays?
Oh, I didn't know that's how that works.
Yeah. So what happens is the call happens and then the refs work it out. Now the refs will do their own replay. And while they're doing their own replay, New York will get involved and give them backups. So they'll let the refs make the call. And if the refs need help, they'll say, hey, what's going on in New York? But in some cases, especially at the end of the games, New York will get involved right away, or they'll say, we're reviewing it, and they'll tell the referees. In that case, and especially when it takes a long time, everybody's reviewing it. Okay. So but New York, they're the gods in the machine. They're the Deus ex machina. They're the ones that actually make the decision. So once New York gets involved, it's on them. Okay. So if you and I are in New York sitting down watching it, and you and I are looking at fairness and we know everything that's going on with the accusations of cheating and all these things, you and I would go, there's no way that's a completed pass because there's too much going on to dispute it. Okay. But whoever made that choice, and clearly that choice is going to benefit at that time, whoever gets the call, it's going to really benefit that team. Huge. It's a close game. So you have a lot of power in your hands in New York, and they decided to give to the Chiefs. And that's why people were really upset. So, okay. So there's that. Now I can agree with you that it can be looked at two different ways. And here's another way to look at it. If you're the defender, you strip that ball out. Right? So that's on them too. If you're over his shoulder, strip the ball. So, okay. So I can give that to you. Now, did you see of course you did, at 12:55, the first down attempt that was clearly a first down, then they didn't give it to him. And then the Josh Allen rush, and that they said it wasn't a first down.
Sorry, my alarm was going off and it completely cut you off. I didn't hear anything.
Okay. You're like, okay.
I know, because my alarm wouldn't shut off at the top of my screen.
So it's okay. So 12:55 in the fourth quarter. Remember, they threw a pass. Josh Allen throws a pass. They needed a first down, and they said the cat, I forget who caught it, was short, and then they rushed to the line. They don't measure it, and then number 17, Josh Allen, tries to rush it over the line, and they still didn't give it to him. You remember that? There's a turnover on downs.
Are you talking about the final turnover of fourth quarter?
No, it was at 12:55. It was in the middle of fourth quarter. There was two moments. But anyway, my point is.
Oh, are you talking?
Yeah, where was the first down?
No, we're talking about two, because I'm talking about the one that I'm thinking of in my head, because it's the one I got in an argument with my coworker over, was the one at the very end right before they converted. That's what I've got in my head.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, no, this was
the incomplete pass.
Yeah, okay. This was a cat. Okay, so Josh Allen throws it. It's a third down. Okay. The receiver catches it. He falls and puts, it's a first down, clearly. But then no, it's short. They don't measure it, rush the guys to the line, and then they rush it again with Josh Allen, and everybody's pushing him, and he falls back, and then one ref says it's a first down, the other one comes and calls it off. Turnover. Okay. That is unconscionable, and that is a complete cheat. There's no way anyone can say it wasn't, because two opportunities to measure it in a close game. Okay. That's huge for people. Now, at the very end, did you see the clock controversy at the 2-minute warning? Did you see that?
The clock controversy.
Okay. So, there's a shot clock. That's NBA. Sorry. There's a possession clock, right? And as that runs down, the
little blocks that starts black and turns red as they get on the screen. Yeah, I know.
Okay. So what that is when you have a possession clock, so you can't just waste the clock, right?
I know what it is. My son's been flagged for it in a game before. Right. Not my son, his coach, but yeah.
Okay, so what happened was, I don't know if you caught this, but then you have a 2-minute warning where it automatically stops and it's a break for everybody. Get the 2-minute warning. Okay.
Yeah.
The Chiefs were getting to the 2-minute warning, and I think that was after the final turnover that you were talking about. And the the pass that was missed. Got it. Okay, yeah. This was after that big pass that was missed. Again, that if that pass had been caught, they would have been in field goal range. It's on the Bills. Okay.
That was my point.
I'm not arguing that.
That's one of the points I'm going to bring up. So
I'm just talking about the Chiefs getting advantages that make it hard to beat them. So when it comes to what they're doing, it's not necessarily they're helping them win. They're just making it hard for them to lose. It's hard to beat them when you don't have the same rules. So back to the shot clock, the possession clock. Okay. So there was a 1 second differential between the 2-minute warning, or like a 2-second differential. Mahomes started walking off the field and the clock expired, which is a flag. But then the refs just let it go to the 2-minute warning and said, it's break 2 minutes. If they had flagged them, that would have been a loss of down and it would have been 5 yards. That would have helped significantly the Bills to get the ball back. Instead, they come back after, and then Mahomes throws a pass to the flat, which is huge. So they look, Mahomes, he's an assassin. They finished the game off and they won. Okay. So I'm not saying that the cheating helped them 100%. I'm just saying the Bills had to fight an uphill battle, and there's no way they're going to get any flags, and the Chiefs get it. And then how about, the last thing I'll say is, I was going to let you talk, but my last thing I'll say, and you can respond. The Travis Kelce penalty, the taunting penalty in the end zone, the 15
I'll give you that one.
Okay. Come on. Right. It's just
I
that
give you that one.
he came in and he started doing this like funky chicken head thing and being all stupid. And then he doesn't get the flag. Like everybody looks at that stuff and they're like, what's the point? It's honestly like, what's the point of like there's just things that the refs do that it almost seems like they're like, fuck you. We're just gonna, it's just like way over the top stuff to give like the it's the same difference as 15-yard penalty for basically pushing Mahomes down, right? What's the point? Let these guys play. Okay, so those are big penalty. Those are big things, right? It makes it hard. And also, Mahomes got tackled, and so it was tackle in the end zone, and then boom, it's a flag. It ended up being a flag, which is just a huge disadvantage. So I'll just say this. The last thing I'll say is the flags and the things that are done to teams, not just the Bills, they're huge disadvantages. Like it's not just, oh, we missed a holding, but when those things happen, they're massive disadvantages to the other team, and usually the Chiefs will score right off of one of those things. I'm not sure if that was quite the situation this time, but anyway, okay. You can respond.
Okay, give me a second. I'm going to grab my charger. It's right here. My phone just told me it's dying.
Oh, it's okay. So while you grab your charger, we'll look at your shrine. We haven't even talked about the Taylor Swift shrine. It's absolutely bonkers. Look at this. And that's just a piece of it. That's not even all of it.
No, it's not, because it starts right there.
Wow.
Angle my phone up a little better. And then I have my dresser.
Okay.
I have all those up there.
Wow.
And then come over here. And actually on top of my jewelry box right here, because I'm not looking back, it's regular jewelry, but on the very top, which you can't see, and I'm not gonna show you because my phone's plugged in, are all my Taylor earrings and buttons. And I have stickers over there.
Wow, the swag. The tchotchkes.
There's my shelf. It's got my magazines, books, my Eras Tour cup and popcorn tin. And then I have another wall.
Another wall. It never stops.
It doesn't.
So you are, not only are you a Chiefs fan to the max, you're a Taylor Swift fan. Like you are the ultimate double whammy. So you're saying that your coworker is arguing with you? Is your coworker agree with me? Or with the world?
So the one, yeah. But our banter was light, and it was like you and I. Like
I figured.
It wasn't like we weren't like actually arguing with each other. I mean, we both got a little loud, but
shocker.
I know,
well,
right?
No, you're actually you're a great person to talk football with because you don't take it like so personal.
No, I don't. We were talking about the very last turnover in the fourth quarter at like the sixth. I think it was like 6:57 or whatever.
Okay.
The very last one where they could not get that first down, and he tried the pass play, missed the pass, did the turnover, and then Chiefs just ran the last of the clock. After that?
Did you catch that was a strategy to throw that and chuck it like that?
Well, I mean, they were coming to tackle him. He was going to get hit and go down either way. So
yeah,
the best option was to throw it and just hope that they caught it and could get the first down.
Well, actually, true, but also it's in that situation, it's almost like a punt. Let's say they catch it's an interception. He's going to get tackled way back there, and the turnover starts there. So versus like getting sacked, right? And then boom, that's the turnover. So I don't think he thought that was catchable. That's why he just threw it. And it happened to be Kincaid was in the right place at the right time and totally like choked. So there was a lot of problem. I mean, obviously you never want to be in that situation where that's your strategy. That's coaching, but that's kind of what was going on with that pass. But okay. So back to that turnover. Well, it ended up being a turnover.
I'm just saying, I feel like there was several let's bring this up too. They were down by 3 points. Only 3. Let's start with the fact that it didn't have to be a 3-point difference. It could have been a 2-point difference if they had decided to go with a field goal instead of going for that 2-point conversion that they failed to get twice, which put them down by 4 points.
Yeah, but at that point, like 2
That was
points, 3 points, it
but
doesn't matter.
that was second and third quarter when they did those things. And they would have been up by 1 at that point had they gotten that total of 4 extra points. They'd have been up by 1 on the Chiefs.
Yeah, I'm always a firm believer in if you have to make a choice, go for 3. But I hear you.
And then, I mean they just could not get.
They still lost.
They could not get that first down in the fourth quarter. Which I'm not gonna lie, I spent that whole game wondering if we were gonna lose that game because
why? Bills, okay, why did you think? I never thought you were.
I was.
Why did you think
me and my other Chiefs fan are texting each other back and forth this whole time because it was such a close game. It was so back and forth. Bills had the lead at one point, then Chiefs had the lead, and then Bills took the lead. It was super and then we were tied. And I was like, we're going to overtime.
Well, and doesn't that make the argument that the cheating is substantial when the game is that tight?
Well, I want to point out that despite the cheating, I don't know. I'm still not convinced that's
fine.
Not a complete pass.
You're just talking my language. I'm not. It doesn't mean you believe it by saying it. You're just talking my language and the language of the rest of the world who knows the Chiefs are cheating.
Despite that, I want to point out that the Bills held their own, and had they not, I don't know what happened to them on that final drive in the fourth quarter. If they'd been successful there, they could have won the game. Because they could have ran more of that clock to score a touchdown or a field goal and left the Chiefs with less time to make a comeback and get ahead of them. They could not push through that line on the fourth quarter. They couldn't get through, and they tried.
The Chiefs had to play good defense. They had to do their part. It's not like Josh Allen was a mess. He was slinging it. Cook was having a good game.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah,
he was on fire.
What happens when you get into the fourth quarter and it's that tight is plus it's cold. People forget that. Like your body, you think your body's going to move and it doesn't, right? Or or a guy is going to throw a pass and it's short because it comes out of his hand. It's tough. Now those are both teams that play in the snow, so there's no excuse. But after 3 quarters of getting beat up and all this stuff going down, it's the fourth quarter is unpredictable. So a lot of people are criticizing the Bills because of the coaching choices, the play choices, and the fact that Josh Allen was being used as a running back in those situations when they had a really good running back that could break through right. So there was some. I mean,
there was a couple of times where they did something, and I'm like, why would they not? Why is that the move that they made? Why was that the choice there?
Because these I'll tell you why. Because like for example, if it's let's say it's 3rd down and 1. And they need, right? What is everybody thinking that watches the game? Oh, you're going to give it to your stud running back and he's just going to go through the line. Okay. Coaches know that's right. Okay. So coaches know that's obvious. So they get stupid and try to be all, let's just do something no one's going to see coming. And they overthink it instead of just, yes, the line's going to be stacked, whatever. But instead of giving it to your guy that's like been successful, they just that's called out coaching yourself or being out coached because you don't do the obvious thing. Like Josh Allen, for example, so the first in that 12:55 fourth quarter thing, what is the first down twice? Okay. They didn't get the first down. That's like, if you're the coach, you're like, okay, this is rigged. Cool. How do we overcome this? Like whatever. You just run a play that's smart. And they didn't. They gave it to the quarterback. At that time, he's really beat up as it is, right? He's in every play. It's like watching a movie with the star in every scene with everybody else, right? That's a lot of work. People do not understand how much work is on the quarterback. So when you're in that situation, you don't put him and stick him in there to do a tush push and get smashed by me. First of all, it's bad coaching. Second of all, it could be a lack of communication with Josh Allen and the coach. Maybe the coach called Cook and Allen can change the play. He's like the co-leader of it. It's the coach. And what happens is they get a call in their helmet and it turns off with a few amount of seconds. Right. And then the quarterback has to make a choice. So it could have been Allen thought I got this and he outcoached himself. Right. So that was but that just should never happen. Okay. So That being said, so you're arguing with your coworker, and who wins the argument?
I don't think either of us won.
Shocker.
Yeah, really, because he was so set that they got the first down and he shouldn't have had to go for a pass play. And I was like, if you watch that replay, he never made it across that line.
Well, you're totally wrong, but go ahead.
What?
The whole world, even Chiefs fans today, all over the internet were like, yeah, that was 2 first downs. Like everybody's on.
I'm talking about the end, during the last conversion.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Gotcha. Okay.
No, I'm on a different one. Every time
very last one. You're talking about the pass okay. Got it.
The last pass because they ended up at like 4th and 1, and they didn't even need a whole yard to get across that line, but they could not break through to get past that line. And that's when he had the missed pass. Yeah. You said was like him punting it for the last conversion.
Yeah, it was basically like, okay, if it's an interception, that's still going to be
But better. He was replaying that, and I'm like, are you watching? Because he never gets past that line. He never makes it past that first down line.
Oh, I see, yeah.
And my issue with that, the reason I blame them for that is because they ran the same play 3 times, and 3 times that play failed.
You're right.
Like, it didn't work the first time. Okay, try a second time. Try another run. Whatever. You're now on your 3rd down. Are you going to run it again? Why would you not pass it? They should have tried the pass play not once, but twice. Because I'm sorry, if you mess up on that third pass, on the third play, and you miss the pass, guess what? You have one more chance. But you waited till that 4th down. You threw it. He missed it. Now you've given the ball back to the Chiefs with 5 minutes left? You screwed yourself in that moment with a bad play call. Because they chose to run the same play 3 times.
I don't understand.
Oh, let's pass it instead.
Well, I don't understand it either. You have a solid point. And that was that goes along with what I was saying a moment ago, is coaching is so important in the 4th quarter because people panic. There's a lot going on. And that's why guys like Andy Reid are the best in the game, because they don't freak out in the 4th quarter. And I think that has a lot to do with like guys have to drill that. You should, I honestly think when you get to the playoffs, every practice should be, okay, we've got 1 minute. How do we do this? You create all sorts of scenarios, because that's what's going to happen when you play the Chiefs. The Bills had beat the Chiefs before, which is super interesting. That they are Chiefs killers. And remember, I said, if the Bills jump out and score first, that's going to be hard for the Chiefs. So the Chiefs knew who they understood the assignment, which was whoever scores first dictates the game. Now, anything else on that before I tell you how the Eagles are going to beat the Chiefs? I'm not saying – let me reframe that. The only way they can do it.
I see, and that's before we get into the whole Eagles argument. The Bills had plenty of opportunities.
The Eagles?
No, I said before we get into the argument about the Eagles, the Bills had plenty of opportunity where they could have taken the lead. Despite everything, they held their own through that game. They managed to tie up the game.
Yeah.
When it all comes down to it, people can say what they want. They had plenty of opportunities despite it being stacked against them. They could have come through and they could have won. And I feel like they decided, maybe they decided not to. Maybe they retired. Maybe they panicked. I don't know.
Maybe they retired. They're getting pummeled like a car wreck in there.
It is not the Chiefs' fault that they chose to run plays that weren't working, that they could see weren't working. It's not the Chiefs or the refs' fault that they couldn't catch a ball. At the end of the day, it comes down to those factors, no matter what anyone else is doing. You're
totally ignoring the fact that Travis, Taylor, Kelsey, and Patrick McFloptrick Holmes, they get away with murder. Honestly, they have no accountability. They do whatever they want. Can't you agree with that? Do you disagree with that? And they get coddled and protected, and the NFL just basically gives them a pillow and a blankie and gives him a massage. Oh, you okay, Patty McCombs? Right, you okay? Can't you agree that they get away with murder?
I mean, they get away with things. I wouldn't say they don't, but I
Well,
mean,
remember
I've
earlier?
I've seen them get flagged for things.
Oh, really? For what? Give me an example where they got flagged for something.
The Christmas
That's
Day
a really
game,
good. When has Patrick Mahomes gotten a flag?
I'd have to think on that one, but Travis Kelce got, I think, 3 flags on
He
the
broke
Christmas
right
Day
his
game.
kneecap and didn't get a flag.
Like 3 times during the Christmas Day game, they flagged Travis Kelce himself.
For what? Like,
it was one of them was unsportsmanlike conduct, which I thought was stupid, and honestly it made me mad because
that's the only flag he should get. He's a douchebag,
and he got it because he got the touchdown. Hold on, he got the touchdown, and then he's dancing to celebrate like they all do.
Was he?
All of them do it. Every team does it.
Okay, you know what?
He got the flag, and then the other team scored. They did the same thing, and no flags. So I was like,
you know why? Because Travis Kelce says "fuck your mom," like he says dirty. He like says mean shit to people. He does.
So yeah, he got flagged for it. Like
you think he's like this perfect saint? He's a douchebag.
I didn't say that.
I know. I'm just saying, but I will say this: that's how you win. You get guys mad. You like, you say really mean shit. And then
I'll give you that flag. That was, I mean, Kelce instigated the one flag during the Bills game.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying he didn't. I watched the because I had to watch it because I missed it. I got to go to the bathroom and I missed that little flag moment. So I had to watch the replay. And I'm like, I could see an argument going on. And then I saw Kelce come like stir things up more. And so the other guy like pushed him and then they threw the flag. And I'm like, okay, well, that was Kelce's fault.
Look, worst case scenario in that situation is both guys get a flag and it's like it's like a wash, right?
Yeah, but I mean,
or no flag at all. Now, you know what? I got to tell you, this might surprise you. I don't think he should have got a flag.
I don't either. Kelce instigated.
But because in the olden days, when we were like chiseling on fucking granite to send a letter to people, that was okay. You could taunt people. You could dance in the end zone. You could do cool shit. It made football fun. Now you can't do fucking anything. So my point was,
I still see all the teams celebrating in the end zone when they
score, but it's nothing. So. It's nothing like it used to be so cool. Now it's nothing. I mean, it's pointless. Like, and the whole like them doing like the one thing that makes me crazy is the whole team celebration where they like act like they're swimming or in a boat or something. It's so douchey. It's so dumb.
It is. Yeah.
It's cringy. My point is, when I looked at it and saw Kelce didn't get the flag, well, that's terrible, right? But I don't think anybody should have got a flag. That's my point. Like, that's football.
Yeah.
So do you remember when remember earlier in the season where Mahomes decided he didn't want to, it was like a short distance and he was about to hike the ball and changed his mind and said, I want to count. I want you to measure it. Remember that?
Yeah, oh my God. Yeah, I remember that.
And he walked over to the refs and they stopped. Like, who does that?
That was
like
that
nobody
was pure
can
privilege.
do. So and remember, like, was it a few weeks ago? The ball boy ran up to the referee for Andy Reid and then called the timeout for Andy. Like, this stuff, Desiree, this stuff is like WWE. Like, that stuff would never happen.
Okay, but wasn't that you're talking about the one with the ball boy? But wasn't that the one because there was a game where Andy tried to call the timeout and they weren't. Like the refs were not paying attention.
No, it wasn't it. He stopped and said, we need to measure it. He was about to hike it, realized they didn't have a play, saw the defense, and then talked the refs into stopping the game for a measurement, which was a timeout, but it didn't cost them a timeout. My point, and it wasn't even about that, because both teams get the timeout, they get the rest. Cool.
Yeah.
My point was, you can't do that when the clock is running. That's a penalty. That's my point. So these guys just do whatever they want, and I just feel like the refs act like a bunch of puppets and do whatever they want. I don't know, but I just think it's a fucking joke. But. Okay, so now, here's my strategy for the Eagles. They need to cheat hard.
Can I go to the bathroom real quick?
Yeah. Go ahead.
You can ramble. I'm going to keep my ear in. I'm going to keep my thing in so you can.
Okay, cool. I'll go solo till you come back. Okay, cool. All right, so here's my. While Desiree's taking a break, here is my strategy for winning. I think if the Eagles are going to win. We were going to have a huge Eagles fan. He has a huge TikTok. I wasn't able to bring him on. It would have been a lot of fun. We'll probably talk this week about the Eagles. We'll do an Eagles show. Here's my strategy. I think they should kick Patrick Mahomes in the dick. I think they should karate chop him in the neck. I think they should sweep the leg. I think they should call their mom dirty names. I think they should get in their head. I think they should eye gouge. I think they should cheat hard. I think the Eagles need to cheat hard because clearly, if you want to win in the NFL, you have to be the biggest cheaters. The teams that are nice lose. The nice teams lose. The cheating teams win. Apparently, that's how it goes. So my strategy is it needs to be cheating time. The Eagles need to go hard. I think they need to get a guy. They need to get a second string guy. Okay. They need to get a guy that doesn't play much, a defensive player, maybe a linebacker or whatever. Do an extra dime set, get an extra linebacker in there. Have him blast Patrick Mahomes so hard, spear him with the helmet, and then he gets the fine, he gets ejected, but Mahomes gets hurt and you win the game. That's what you should do. I know that sounds terrible. I never thought I'd be saying that because that's so unsportsmanlike. That is so terrible. I never thought I'd be advocating that. But there's no way you're going to beat the NFL machine unless you cheat. There's no way. It's a joke, man. It's an absolute joke. That's my opinion. So I wish I had an Eagles fan on here to talk about that. One of the I've got a few good Eagles fan friends that watch. Let's see if there's anybody in the chat. I would love to. I would just love to see them go hard. I think the Eagles need to really, really just give it to them and just really push them around. I do think the Chiefs,
that's not going to save them.
There, you're back. Desiree's back.
Yeah.
What do you think of that? Did you hear the whole thing?
Oh, I heard it. I've been saying.
Kick him in the dick.
No, do you honestly think that's going to work?
Yes.
I don't. Not only.
Yes.
No.
Okay. All right. Here's the thing. Cheating wins now. It's WWE.
I get
Pull the chair out. Hit him with the chair.
Being unnecessarily aggressive and violent like that is not going to get them the game.
That's football.
That's not okay. You know what? No, going for the intimate areas is not going to get them the game.
Look, Drew Tranquil always gouges people's eyes out. He's a big fucking cheater. I think you should gouge eyes out.
Oh,
do Karate Kid stuff. Sweep the leg, hit him in the knee. Look, get your whole second string thrown out. Pay the fine, man. It's crazy. Well, okay. So, do you think the Chiefs are going to lose with the NFL behind their back, trying to help them get the three-peat? They're in the referees are in the pocket of Flop Trick Mahomes and Travis Taylor.
I still think, because I'm not entirely convinced that the Bills game wasn't a really fair game.
No,
I can see your point of view on a couple of areas where you're like, I can see why you're questioning it. So
the whole world. I'm giving you what the whole world is saying today too. It's not just me.
Well, it's not the whole world because there are some of us that don't agree.
Okay, the whole world that's not a Chiefs fan. Hey, did you see that TikTok I posted, by the way, where I was talking about they need to cheat?
Oh, the Eagles, yeah.
Yeah. So that one's starting to go viral just a little. And I got Chiefs fans on there going, "You're a sore loser. Screw you." And I'm like, I'm not even an Eagles fan. I'm just telling you how they're going to win.
I think it'll be a fair game. And we've already beat them once, and we didn't beat them by cheating in the Super Bowl. We did not beat them earlier this season by cheating. So that was one of the games they didn't get a fix on. So I just don't see the Eagles coming out on top. We've beaten them fairly 2 other times. Once was in the Super Bowl.
I really wish we had our Eagles guy on because he would have gone crazy hearing you say that.
You know I love a good argument.
Yeah, that would have been great. Now maybe I'm going to try to have him on Wednesday because he couldn't make it tonight, but I'll try to bring you back if you want.
Okay.
Then we could do all Eagles, kind of like that point of view. So I'm kind of glad we're just doing Chiefs because it's going to be fun. Now, next week is going to be – there's a week off. This is the week off. The next week is going to be Super Bowl week, which would be a lot of fun. So there's going to be a lot happening as we get to the weekend. So every night I'll probably be on. So we'll figure it out. You can jump on when you want. because there'll be like breaking news and stuff. Like somebody always gets in trouble, somebody always gets cut. It's
I know. I remember last year that was wild.
Yeah, it was crazy. So, I lost my train of thought.
I don't know. I was telling you that they beat the Eagles fairly twice.
Oh no, okay, got it. Okay, did you watch the Commanders game? Eagles Commanders.
No, but I have seen the clip of the Commanders diving the Commander guy, the dive over like 10 times today, and that
Commander
is
guy?
so funny to me. I
Okay.
don't know any of the Commanders players. I'm not gonna lie, because they're
That's
not a
fine.
team
You
that
can
I pay
call him
attention
Commanders
to.
guy. It's actually
But
fun.
all I've seen is him just leaping. I've seen
Okay.
it like 8 times, and then I've seen people in comments. So I'm like, what is happening here? And he did it, I guess, not once but twice. He did that.
Well,
I'm like,
okay.
what?
At that point, you're trying to get an advantage, all these things. The Eagles, okay. The Commanders are a really good football team.
Okay.
They're not.
I'll take your word for it. I don't know.
Yeah, okay. I'm just setting up where I'm going with this. Okay, really good team. Okay, so keep this in mind. There were 4 teams yesterday. Now there are only 2. Okay, they were 1 click away from the Super Bowl. That's a great year. The quarterback is a rookie. All these things went well. They got blown out by the Eagles. They got beat down. Like the Eagles humiliated them. And the Eagles gave up 23 points to a really good team. That's called winning a Super Bowl. That's like that team. Barkley had 2 touchdowns, like crazy number. Like I predicted they were going to blow. I thought the wheels would come off, and they did, because those guys, it's just a different, when you get to that level, experience really is what it's about, right? Like the pressure and all that. So my point is, the Chiefs needed, here's where I'm going. The Chiefs needed help to win that game. That's how I feel. They needed the refs to help them. You don't feel that way, but I do. Okay. Even if you don't feel that way, how many points did the Chiefs give up? 29 points, right? That's a lot of points to give up in a playoff game.
Yeah.
Like it turned into, right? Shootout.
It did. I'm not gonna lie. They definitely gave up a lot of.
Okay, the Eagles are not going to give up. Or the Eagles will. The Eagles drop 55 points. So let me just set the table. The last time a team scored that many points like that was I think the Niners, like a Super Bowl team that won. So the Eagles statistically should win that game easy, statistically, because if you look at the statistics for the Chiefs the entire year and you look at the Eagles are a much better team than the Chiefs. But the problem is the Chiefs have the refs in their pocket. So my point is, you got to come out strong and hit the Chiefs hard in order to overcome that, like 2 touchdowns, right? You have to have a big margin. The Bills did that earlier this year and beat the Chiefs. Now, if there's a team that can do that, it's the Eagles. They've proven it. And at this level, they're clicking at all cylinders. Now, it was a home game. It was cold. This game is going to be played in New Orleans in a dome, which is really, really interesting. So no weather. They're going to be on turf. That's going to be very, very interesting. So how do you feel after everything I just told you? And you thought they might lose to the Bills yesterday. How do you feel about the chances for your team?
I mean, I'm still pretty confident in my team. I mean, I know there's always the potential they could lose. I'm not an idiot. I know that. But
You're far from that. You're very smart.
Oh, thank you. I just mean I'm not like blinded. I'm not like a blind, like, oh no, they're gonna win.
Did you know that most Chiefs fans are? Why are you? I guess my question, brings up a good question. Why are you not blind like the rest of them are? Why are you not myopic like that? Like, why are you so open-minded? Because a lot of Chiefs fans are like, he's better than Brady. He's Jesus Christ in the flesh. Oh my God, I love Kermit. Like they go nuts for these guys.
I love Mahomes, and I wasn't into football during the Brady era like that. I wasn't involved then.
Yeah.
But I've seen a lot of videos talking about the statistics and where he, like Mahomes, falls short of being as good as Brady. The one thing that he is going to have, if he pulls it off up on Brady, is going to be the three-peat. That's going to be the thing he has. Like, I don't know why I'm so open-minded. I am open-minded to a lot of things. And like, just blind loyalty is just not. You have to be realistic. You have to know everything is not black and white. Everything is
crazy because you're not the typical Chiefs fans are so diehard they will take drugs and die in the back of a house to watch a Chiefs game. All right, these guys are like Chiefs fans will rob banks. All right,
so not
Chiefsaholic. Like,
see the reality in a
you realize you're the Chiefs fans are the craziest fan base. It's nuts.
I don't doubt it.
Okay,
but I don't know. I know that like there's two teams playing. They're not playing by themselves. Like, Chiefs are not playing Chiefs.
They're not playing. They're playing the world.
They're playing another team. There's two outcomes. Either they win or they lose. So they only have a 50-50 shot. Like, that's what it boils down to. There's a 50% chance they win. There's a 50% chance they lose. And if the Eagles come out and play their A game like they did against the Commanders, like if they do that, the Chiefs are going to have a hard time. Could they lose? Yes. Do I know that? Absolutely. It could happen. Do I want it to happen? No, of course not. I want the Chiefs to win, like, obviously. But on that note, I don't want it to be because of a fix. I don't want that. Like, okay. So I want it to be a fair game.
Okay, so you said some really great things. One, let's talk about Tom Brady versus Mahomes. Okay, so to you, do you think Taylor Swift is the greatest in the world, right? I'm drawing it. Right. I'm going somewhere with this.
Okay, sure.
Do you think there's a better pop superstar than her ever?
No.
Okay. So in your mind, she's the greatest ever.
Yeah.
Okay. You're not wrong to think that. She's highly dominant and she's an icon. Okay. Imagine Taylor Swift retires from music. It happens. Or she like becomes like her albums, no one buys them. Like Madonna, it happens to huge, like no one ever thought it would happen to Madonna, but it did, for example. Like Madonna was the great. There's always like the great ones, right? Beyonce. Beyonce's not big now. No one talks about her like Taylor Swift. Okay. So imagine, imagine somebody new comes out as it's a smaller version of Taylor Swift and she's like just dominating. But you will never ever let up on the fact that no one is greater than Taylor Swift. You'll never do that, right?
No, probably not.
Yeah. But it doesn't take away that person's, if they're selling those records or filling up stadiums. I can't even think of a person now because I don't think that person is here yet that could, give her a run for her money. But that's exactly the scenario when it comes to Mahomes and Brady. Brady has 6 rings. Mahomes will have 4. That's a huge difference.
Yeah,
it really is. And
when
Mahomes,
you think about everything you have to put in to get those rings.
What's that?
I said, when you think about everything you have to put in just to get those rings, the difference between 6 and 4 is a lot.
Huge. Like, for example, Kelsey's probably going to retire. If he wins the three-peat, I think he'll go into acting.
He's put an end to that rumor. I don't know if you know that.
I haven't heard it. I'm just telling you.
Oh, they asked him about it in an interview.
I'm just saying all the years he has to say that now. But also his mindset has to be, I'm never quitting. He probably believes that now. But after you win a 3rd ring and you realize how hard that is and the dedication, plus who knows where the relationship's going to go. Honestly, it's a real thing, clearly. And he's acting. That is a big deal for people. In fact, being an actor is bigger than a sports star. Everybody wants to be there. Everyone wants to be Tom Cruise, right? Everyone wants to be there. Even musicians want to act, right? What's that?
I said I don't, but okay.
I'm just saying that's what those, because most people do know Kelsey, but there's a number of people that don't watch sports. They don't care, right? But everybody watches acting. Okay, cool. So I'm just saying for Mahomes to keep this together, for this team to keep it together, it's going to be really tough for them to do another one after this if they get the 3rd one. But Brady was able to do that time and time again. And they were accused of cheating too. They really in fact, their scandals, the NFL crack down on the Patriots for cheating. And they're cheaters. I'm a huge Brady fan, but they got caught cheating twice in 2 different years. Anyway, my point is that I just lost you. Did I lose you? I lost you. Anyway, I lost you. I'm sure you'll come back. Maybe your battery died. My point is that there's no one that's better than Tom Brady at this point. There's no comparison. If Mahomes does get the 4th ring, I think he's going to be he'll be right up there with I believe Joe Montana, and he'll be a step away. So I'll give him that. A lot of people ask me this question. If if Mahomes wins, gets the 3-peat and gets another ring, how do you feel about him being closer to Brady? He's a click closer. If Mahomes does it for a 5th time, that's huge. Let's see. Desiree's messaging me. She died out. You got kicked out. Let me see what happened here. I'm going to tell her, try to get back in again. Let's see here. Lost her. Try again. Yeah, she just got kicked out. But yeah, so there's no argument. So let's talk about, we're wrapping it up. Thanks for watching, guys. Really appreciate it. Again, if you're just watching this late or watching a clip, my name is Jason J. Daniel. It's the Jason J. Daniels show. We talk football. We talk politics, sports, current events. I'm really excited. I'll talk about this in a second, but I've got a number of guests. I do interviews. I have a number of guests I'm trying to line up. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be cool. I enjoy doing this. So let's talk about the Dome game in New Orleans. So the Super Bowl will be in New Orleans. It will be a non-weather game, clearly, and it's going to be on the track, right? What advantages do the Eagles have? I think that the Eagles really are at a disadvantage, honestly, because I think the Chiefs play a tighter game. Their running game is not too explosive, and I think they'll play a short game on the track. I think it gives Kelsey an advantage. Tight ends always have an advantage on the track. Wide receivers can get loose. I think that will help Mahomes. He really had. I think he threw a 49-yard TD or something. Mahomes does not have a gun like Brady and like other quarterbacks. Jalen has a more kicked me out of Rumble. Desiree got kicked out. Mahomes has let's see here. I'm reading her text here. If you guys are watching, I lost my partner here. Just trying to get back in. Mahomes, interesting. Okay. Let's see here. Okay, cool. Darn it. Anyway, she can't get back in. I'm wrapping up anyway. I just messaged her. Okay, so Hurts has the advantage. He's a better quarterback than Mahomes. He's a better quarterback. He has better skills. I know Mahomes has more rings, but that doesn't matter right now. Hurts is a stronger guy. He's a tougher guy. Eagles are clicking. I don't think the Eagles will have an advantage on the track only because they're a team that plays really well outdoors, and unfortunately, injuries happen on the track. I do predict a huge injury for one of these, or a key injury for one of these teams. I think it could be Eagles. That could be huge. I'm hoping Barkley takes it easy and doesn't try to go for home runs early because guys pull hamstrings. They tweak their ankles on that track. So we'll have to see. But the advantage, I think, does go to the Chiefs playing in that dome. But it's going to be a really tough game for the Chiefs. Their defense is not really up to they're good, but they're not up to the task of what's the word I'm looking for? They're really just not up to the challenge, I think, to stop the offense of the Eagles. They're just too powerful. They smashed the Commanders, and that was not an easy task. So I think in the dome, this is just an early prediction. I think I think that the Eagles will be favored. I think they'll be the favorite. They're just a powerful offense right now. Everything is clicking. The Chiefs are the older team, but they're more experienced. There is a lot of playoff experience on the Eagles. They're kind of a mix of young and new. I think that does make a difference. Barkley is the MVP. He's the best player, clearly going to be the best player in the Super Bowl is Barkley. He's young. He's energetic. He has new life. He's trying to prove a point. And he got huge bonuses in that playoff game. I think he made a $500,000. And all these guys get huge bonuses when they play in the Super Bowl and they get stats and try to win. So it is tough to get between a guy and his money when he is hot. So I give it to Barkley that he's going to have if he stays healthy in that game. I mean, this is it. Now you got to go all out, right? This is it. This is for all the marbles. Balls to the wall, right? But you gotta stay fresh. You gotta stay. I expect it to be a tight, low-scoring first half. That happened last year, and I do expect it to be a tough game for both teams. Now, if you want me to call the game, it's going to be Chiefs because the NFL is their puppets for the Chiefs. The refs are in the back pocket. We're in an inflection point in history where things have really changed, where cheating is the key. I mean, it's clearly important to the NFL to get the $1 trillion three-peat. The marketing on that is going to be staggering. Okay, we get it. It's important for the NFL to get the three-peat. It was important for them to get the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. Huge. It's going to be important for them to get the win. So I do think the Chiefs are going to be impossible to beat. Impossible. One, I do think the Eagles are at a disadvantage in New Orleans in that dome. Two, they won't have the refs helping them. And three, the NFL is going to do whatever they can to cheat at the very end. It happened to the Bengals over and over. It's happened to the Bills. Any rival to the Chiefs always gets screwed by the referees. Most of the time in the postseason, last couple of years, it's been in the postseason and towards the end of the stretch, it's never been like this before, like it's been all year. This year, every game there's been a cheat. Maybe 2 games there wasn't. Every game there's been a cheat, and the Chiefs have needed help. The Eagles are not going to get that help. And so I think that puts them at a severe disadvantage. Even though the Eagles have a hot offense, it is a different story when in the Super Bowl. There's a lot of distractions, a longer halftime, a lot of things going on. Super Bowl week is really difficult to get through without somebody doing something completely stupid. I think both of these teams are very disciplined. They have good coaches. Sirianni is not a disciplined coach. He flies by the seat of his pants. I do think that Jalen Hurts is a very disciplined guy. I think he's going to keep these guys in line. Barkley's on a mission. The Eagles are on a mission. And you know what? This is it. It's like the Niners last year. Now the Eagles were not as dominant as the Niners were. They weren't as fierce. They weren't as frightening to the rest of the league as the Niners were last year, but they're a really, really tough team to play. They're a quiet team. They're a bunch of quiet assassins, but now they're clicking at full power. They're hitting teams in the mouth. They're ruining teams. It's been a really good series of playoff games for the Eagles. And will they be able to close it out? I don't know, but they're at their full strength. So this is their window. This is where I'm going with this. If there's ever an opportunity for the Eagles to do it, it's now. It's now. How they're going to get past the NFL machine that's turned into WWE, I don't know. I have no idea, but that's your preview. Super Bowl set, man. It's been a fun night. It's been cool. We've been talking a lot of Chiefs. You guys are a lot of fun. I really appreciate you guys. The podcast numbers are doing really well, and I appreciate that. Like I was saying earlier, I've got some guests that are coming up, and I'm looking forward to talking a lot of football. We're going to be this week. I may do one more football podcast, but next week we're going to do a lot of football. It's going to be fun, and obviously we're going to podcast after the Super Bowl. Also, we'll go live on TikTok. So thanks, guys, for watching. I hope you appreciated the conversation. Shout out to Desiree. I forgot to create a graphic for her tag, so you can follow her on TikTok. But rewind this show. This is live right now, but if you watch it later, rewind the show and you can follow her. We talk about her TikTok. Man, it's the NFL against the Eagles. It's the Eagles against the world. I don't even consider the Chiefs and the NFL 2 different entities. They're the same entity to me. So if you have put your comment, if you got a different a different take on it, give me your comments. I really appreciate it, guys. And speaking of that, I want to tell you, please follow me everywhere. TikTok's a little weird right now. The numbers are getting better, but because of the TikTok shutdown, it kind of threw everything in disarray. But I have thousands of followers. Check out my TikTok. It's all sports. So if you like the show, you'll like my TikTok. Desiree also is involved on my TikTok as well. So if you want to figure out what's going on with her, check her out. And you can follow me on X. Please do that. Please subscribe on YouTube and subscribe on Rumble, wherever you're watching. A subscription is super powerful. A like is powerful as well. So I appreciate that. Please repost and reshare it if you can. If you like what you heard, I really appreciate that. And again, my name is Jason J. Daniel, and I really appreciate you guys very much for watching. And let's see here. The last thing I will say is that check. I don't have a regular schedule, so just if you follow, you're going to get notified when I go live. I usually go live in the evenings, and I go live on the weekends. So I guess that's kind of my schedule. But other than that, it's a great night. And I also want to say, guys, this show is produced by Hollywood Zombie Productions. Have a great night. Thanks for checking it out, and please follow me. Appreciate it.